Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. Hope you've all had a super fantastic, sparkling, magic Monday. Well, what can I say about today? Oh, hang on, something went down the wrong way there. How was it getting your week started? What was magical about your day? My day has been magical in a different type of way. I think there's a little bit of dark magic in there today, but the sun is now shining. And everything is sparkling again, so we're good. Although not too sure about those clouds over there. Anyway, it has been a very magical Monday. I've got to do some great stuff today, and then there was that little bit of storm that went in there, both in stuff I was trying to get done and battering sparkles. So we had a pretty major storm come through here today, a lot of rain. I have not ventured outside yet, but I do know we have one victim outside, and that is our mailbox is now laying flat on the ground. We had really, really strong wind gusts. They were up to 40 to 50 miles an hour with the wind gusts. They were battering the southern side of us, so they're battering along here. I have not been outside yet to see what the damage is, if any. I don't even know if my sewer hose is still hooked up or if that's blowing down underneath the vehicle or anything. But it's got these little plastic things that holds the sewer hose up that helps it do a downgrade thing. So I have not looked out in the back yet. We will be doing that shortly, as you can probably hear by... Hey, that's enough. That's enough. Zeffie has spent basically the entire... Yes, I'm talking about you. Has spent basically the entire day in bed. She came out, she had a look out the windows, decided it was just too bad for her, so she went back inside. She went back to her bed and basically stayed there the entire day. So remember yesterday, I was talking about I had to call a company, and normally it takes about an hour. You can't do anything under an hour. And I would put it out in the universe that I wanted to get to the right person, and I was going to call up the company, get to the right person, and be boom, bang, in and out in 30 minutes. An hour and a half, was it an hour and a half? It was almost 2 hours. It was almost 2 hours. I started at 11:30 this morning. Picked up the phone, called the phone company because I had to activate a prepaid phone, and they had sent me a replacement SIM card. And so I finally had a little bit of time on my schedule. Finally got on my schedule that I was going to call them. So I called them up. I think I went through 6 different people, 2 hang-ups, a lot of misdirections, because it said, go to this website and do this. So I go to the website and do that and go, that telephone number doesn't exist. I'm like, what? Because I was porting my business line to this cell phone, which is going to cost me a lot less per month than it was costing me before, but I'll eventually probably end up porting it to a Google Voice thing, and then it won't cost me anything. But, just taking time and getting things sorted out and everything else. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I explained to this person the situation. Oh, I called up the prepaid line like they told me to. Please enter the number you are calling about. So I put in the number. We're sorry, that number does not exist. Please try again. So I put it back in. I'm sorry, that number does not exist. You can either go to this website or go to the nearest AT&T store and get a new SIM card because the numbers may be expired. I'm like, I haven't even had this thing 2 weeks, this new SIM card. So, and almost an hour and a half later, I finally got through to some person. And this is even after explaining to the person, look, I go to this line, it's record a message, it tells me this, I can't get through to a person. I need to actually get through to a person. Can you please stay on the line to ensure I get through to a person? This person goes, yes, we can do that. Boom. Please enter the number you are calling about. I'm sorry, that number doesn't exist. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So hang up. Finally, after almost an hour and a half, I was being persistent. I finally got through to somebody who got me all sorted out, everything done within 20 minutes. I still have a headache from all of that stress this morning. I've got this tension headache right across here, which I've not been able to get rid of all day. I've been staying hydrated, but, almost 2 hours to sort out something that had that. And I explained to the person too, because of course you get that little recorded message that says that for quality control and all that. I said, could you please let your people know that if you have ported a number in to a SIM chip, like I did in my case, they sent me out a new SIM chip and said, "Yep, we're all ready to go. The porting thing has been completed. You get all the confirmation emails and everything else." That when you call up and the telephone number's not working, that you have the option to then go through to a person, because that would be very, very helpful. I said, I have spent almost an hour and a half just trying to get through to one person that can help me, and I've had been through this many people, had this many hang-ups. That is not a great experience for a client. And so this person she's the sweetest person. She was all apologetic and everything else. I said, could you please make them aware of this? And I said, you can go and have a look, because there will be call logs coming in from my telephone number all over the place. And so I said, I can't tell. And then they put me through to some person that, first of all, I actually got Alvin twice. So the first time I got Alvin, I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him, and he's going, "Hello, this is Alvin. Thank you for calling. How may I be of service?" And I go, "Hi, Alvin. It's Helen here." "Good afternoon. This is Alvin speaking. How may I be of service?" I'm like, "Hello? Anybody there?" "Good afternoon. This is Alvin here. I'm trying to be of assistance to you, but I'm not hearing anybody." Click. No, I had not accidentally pressed the mute button on my phone. I did check that. It was not done. So but then later they put me through to Alvin again. I somehow ended up with Alvin again. Could barely hear the guy. And he has very muffled and mumbled voice. And I even said to him, I said, "Could you please move the microphone?" I said, "Either the microphone's too close to your mouth or it's too far away, but you're very, very muffled." And so he made some slight adjustments, a little better. But then he comes back and says, "I'm going to have to put this up to our tech people to the next tier, because for whatever reason, I can't activate this." And so he puts me on hold. I'm on hold for 5 minutes and the phone hangs up. I'm like, great. So, but eventually I managed to call back. I managed to find a way to get to a real live person in the right department without having to be transferred anywhere, and got very well taken care of and got everything up and running. But it was just the headache, literally the headache of going through almost an hour and a half of being hung up on, being misdirected, not being able to get through it like I should have, and everything else. But thankfully, I finally got to somebody who knew what they were doing. So we got the prepaid phones now all set up. The number has been ported. It's working perfectly. I just got to go do my voicemail on that one. So that was one thing off the list. But that took almost 2 hours out of my day. And then I had to hop on for a client to, she wanted another pair of eyes on a CRM that she was looking at. And so got on there, had a look for the demo and all of that, asked some questions and stuff, then got on with them afterwards, with her and her team, to talk about it afterwards. And, well, these are some things that we might need addressed, and what about this and all that. And it turned out to be pretty good. But outside, it was blowing up a storm today. We had wind gusts up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. It got so cold, it was like 37 degrees outside, and for my New Zealand peeps, that's like around 2 for Celsius. But my little heater did well. We were nice and cozy inside here. Like I said, Zeffie spent almost her entire day in bed, curled up on the bed. She's got this nice little nest, 3-sided nest thing there. And she likes to curl up in there these days. When she's cold, she goes and runs into bed. I had her sitting here next to me for a bit too, and she sort of like leaned into the body heat, and so I had my arm around her. And but yeah, and so the windy part blew over my mailbox, so I've got to go have a look at that. But I'll just call up the office in the morning and say, "Hey, can you run somebody over to fix my mailbox, please? Preferably before 11 o'clock, because the mail gets delivered just after that. Usually around 11:45, but give them a little bit of leeway there." And so it's been just one of those days where there was a lot of stress, and then I got released. Still got the tension headache across here from it today. And then finally, like around 4 o'clock, I finally got to have lunch, because my expected 30-minute phone call that took almost 2 hours took me to like 1:30. I had to get on this other meeting at 1:30, and we didn't finish that till just before 4 o'clock. And so then I heated up one of those sippy soup things, and I did the chicken bone broth with rosemary and lemon. Oh, that is so good. And heated up in the microwave. Got to have a great conversation with my brother-in-law today about stuff that he's having to do. and just basically just a check-in phone call. Um, so I'd done some crackers up with some cheese on as well, and I put all of that over here so I could sit here and eat it. I sat down, immediately Zeffie is up here, and she's got her front feet on the table, and she's trying to get her nose in my soup. I'm like, yeah, no. And so I'm sipping the soup out of the little cup that comes with a little holder with a little lid thing on it. I got it here, and her nose is like right here. And I go, oh. And then she starts, oh, oh. So I had to put up with it. And I was going, you've got food in your bowl. And she just like look over it and look back at me and get her nose up to the cup again. And yeah, she was determined to get some of that chicken soup. And I didn't want to give her any because I didn't know how her stomach would react to it. The chicken broth part she may have been fine with, because according to the ingredients, it's just the chicken broth with a bit of rosemary and lemon. But I wasn't sure how she would do with the rosemary and the lemon portion. And but yeah, so it's been an up and down type of day. It's been a very cold day. It is warming up. Like I said, it was 37 degrees at 3:30 this afternoon, and then close to 4 o'clock we were up to 40 degrees. We're heading towards a heat wave, and the sun's come out, and it's been coming in the window, and it's been warming the room up a little bit. I actually had Brad's sweater on. I have one of his. Oh, it's one of those ones. It's kind of like, it's not really ugly, but on him it just, I don't know, it just didn't fit right or something, and I didn't. The color was okay on him, but the style of it, every time he wore it, I was like, oh, I could do something about that. It was just one of those sweaters that, yeah, it would look good on some guys, but on Brad, the shape of it did not look good on him, and I was always wanting to get rid of the thing. Because after he passed away, it's traveled with me everywhere. It's my snuggie at night, you know, when you're sitting watching TV, your feet up, it's a little cool. It's just one that you just wrap around you. So I've had that on for an hour or two, and kept me nice and warm and toasty. And do you think I'm going to get rid of that anytime soon? Absolutely not. Couldn't stand him wearing it. Now I can't stand to part with it. So it's one of those things. But anyway, so all things working out well. It's been a super fantastic sparkling day, even with the storm and the headache and everything else. But the headache's starting to fade at last. So I'm going to go put some peppermint on the back of my neck and put a little bit of peppermint oil across here and see if we can get it out of there. But yeah, and I'm kind of, the wind has definitely died down. Oh, you got to check out my Facebook page today too, because I was looking at the radar to see where the hail was coming in, and I got this great screen capture of the radar. It is absolutely fantastic. And yes, it is not photoshopped. It is a screenshot of what was actually on my phone. So this was actually on my phone. It is not screenshot. It is not altered in any way or anything. It's just a straight screenshot. Shared it. And I still have the original on my phone as well. But I couldn't stop laughing. When I saw it, I just could not stop laughing. And so I had to wait for it to run through its little play cycle again, so it got to that same shape again, so I could take the screenshot of it and then post it. But please go have a look at that. It's absolutely hilarious. I cracked up laughing when I saw it, and I thought, oh, I've got to grab a screenshot of that and post it. So go check that out. It gives you good laugh during the day. Oh, and when I was on the phone with one of my friends, where she is in California, she looks outside and she goes, and she's like looking intently out the window, and we're on a Zoom call, and she looks out and she goes, it's snowing. It's snowing where I am. And knowing where she lives, I'm like, it's snowing where you are? And she's like, yeah, she's hail and snow by the looks of it out there. So it was crazy weather today. But then when I was over at the dog park this morning, one of the guys said that around the Phoenix area we're supposed to get snow down to like 2,000 feet. He said, so that means that there'll be snow on Superstition Mountains. And so I'm like, darn, we're not in a good place to see the mountains. So yeah, can't see the mountains from here. I might be able to if I got up on top of the roof. But it's been a little wet and cold today, and I don't want to get up there and find that I've got an icy roof. That would not be good. But anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic sparkling rest of your Magic Monday, and we will catch you tomorrow for Tune Up Tuesday. Hack on it up.